Hello, everybody. Welcome to Candidate Corner. This is Greater Seattle Korean Association's interviews with candidates. So the whole reason why we're doing this is because, well, we were recent recipients of the King County Voter Education Fund. And so we kind of got this setup here where we can do live recordings. And so, a lot of people, especially like a lot of my friends, when they say, hey, they come to me and say, hey, Sam, who should I vote for? And it's like, it shouldn't be that way, like you should get to know about your candidates. And so we're just helping with that. So, we're doing these live recordings and just the whole goal is to, be an informed voter,
Yes.
be educated whatever, instead of just like party line voter or whatever reason, really get to know your candidates, I think, kind of besides the party or whatever reason it may be. So that's our goal here. So today, we're really, really excited to have Seattle County President Sara Nelson here with us. So welcome, Sara.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Hello,
of course.
everyone.
Hello, of course. So Sarah was elected to Seattle City Council first in 2021. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Then she was appointed as president, where she currently serves, and then she is looking to retain her seat here citywide as position 9. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Seattle City Council. And so before we have Sarah just share some of her thoughts and visions for City of Seattle, just a quick disclaimer again, it's not an endorsement, but really just to get to know our candidates on a personal level. So Sarah, our audience is pretty diverse. It's a mixed crowd. We have obviously Korean, but also it's varied. It comes from all over. So perhaps you could just tell us a bit more about your background,
Sure.
personal and professional. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I am Sara Nelson, running for Seattle City Council re-election, and I came to Seattle in 1990, and so I'm a 35-year Seattle
when I
resident.
came.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I'm a wife and a mother and a small business owner. I started I came to Seattle to get a PhD in cultural anthropology.
Oh, wow. Where did you come from? I'm just
California.
curious. Okay.
Yep.
I came from Atlanta, so
Okay.
yeah.
Well, but I fell in love with Seattle, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to go some other place to
Yeah.
teach. And so I've always wanted to make a positive impact on the world. And so I chose to go into local politics and policy, working for a city council a city council member, Richard Conlon. Worked
Okay.
there from 2002 to 2013 with a 2-year break in there to start my small business. And then I just decided to run for office in 2021 because I saw what was happening to my city. And I thought that we can do better.
I see. Thank you, Sarah. So just to dovetail on that, can you maybe share a little bit about that and just peel that back a little bit? Yeah.
Sure.
So that was going to be my next question is like back in 2021, why did you decide to run? Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you can recall, it was a time when our streets and our parks and our playfields were covered in encampments and needles. Many of our police officers were leaving town, and crime, gun violence, overdoses were climbing, and so were 911 response times. And so you never knew when help would arrive. And I believed that Seattle could do better, and so I ran because I was concerned about the future of the city. And many other people were too, obviously. So I was elected, and that's what I've been working on since I've been in office.
I see. So 2021, remind me, but was that in the start of COVID back then, or we were kind of into it at that time, right? Yeah. Okay.
But so many people blame the problems of Seattle on COVID, but it was really bad leadership decisions. The previous council was, they didn't focus enough on public safety. They weren't doing much homelessness was getting worse and worse, even though we were spending more and more money on it.
Right.
And people were really suffering. So
I see. As an entrepreneur, you run your own business. Which business, by the way?
Fremont Brewing.
Cool. I'm so there later. I'm so there. Such as myself too, a small business owner and also a kind of tech entrepreneur. But really, with anything, it involves good management,
Yes.
right? Resource management, and of course, our budget and finances too.
Right.
Good financial stewardship. So would you say that you're an advocate for that? And yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I didn't run because I was a small business owner, but
Right.
I did think that it was a helpful perspective to have on city council, someone who knows that your costs should not exceed your revenue. And also someone who really appreciates the small businesses and the medium and large businesses, but particularly the small businesses in Seattle, because that's where the jobs are.
Right.
That's where the innovation happens. And those are the nodes of our neighborhoods and our communities. And I knew that much more could be done to help those small businesses recover from the pandemic and thrive.
I see. I see. So it sounds, this sounds like it's an ongoing challenge for the council, but also along with the challenges, there's probably, I'm sure there's a lot of good as well. So maybe can you share like an achievement that's notable to you, or yeah?
On that note,
Yeah.
I just want to say sometimes I spend so much time focused on what needs to be
I
fixed,
see.
what isn't working,
Sure.
that sometimes I forget to look around and just remember what a fantastic city we have.
Totally.
When you think about, since I've been in office, a new convention center has opened and a new waterfront. And, what's in between is a beautiful city. There are some problems, Third Avenue, some really difficult spots downtown that need more attention. But we have a phenomenal city, great neighborhoods, and that's what I want to strengthen in my next term. But getting to your question, a personal challenge, I would say, and an accomplishment would be that during COVID, I mentioned that my family owns a brewery.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that that I was drinking too much, and my dad was an alcoholic, and he got better by going to rehab, to inpatient treatment. And so that is one thing that I did during COVID, and it's a good perspective on me because it helps me understand that everybody deserves a second chance, and we have to focus on the fentanyl crisis and on helping people who are addicted to substances, because that is driving our public safety and our chronic homelessness problems. And so I've put a lot of energy into expanding access to treatment services.
Thank you for being an advocate for that, Sarah. I really appreciate that. I'm also a student of mental health, studying for my family therapy, mental health counselor. So it's something that's very important to me. And you have that experience, so it bodes well for the true, genuine concern you have for our community. So kind of to springboard from that. We live in a very diverse city, obviously, and it's good. We can celebrate that. What are some policies that maybe you have started or would like to continue to support as it relates to mental health and also our communities of color and to celebrate the diversity?
Sure. Okay. So already, you don't need to be in recovery to know that we need to focus on the fentanyl crisis, arrest the drug dealers.
Okay.
And that's it, and help get people into treatment. And so you need to strengthen. I take pride in the fact that I put forward pieces of legislation that helped us rebuild our SPD because we were losing so many officers. Last year was the first year that we hired more officers than we lost, and we're projected to hire a net new number of, I think it's 86 new officers. So,
wow. Okay.
So that's on the positive. So I've worked a lot in public safety, but also expanding treatment. I will say that a big focus of mine is also on the small businesses, because that is where many families, immigrants and families that are sometimes only one parent, they get a foothold in Seattle through a small business, and so I do try to help that. One project that I have that I'm very this is a very practical thing that needs to be fixed, which is permitting.
Okay.
We have such a permitting nightmare. If you've ever tried to get a permit to fix
like for a small business or
everything.
Everything. Okay.
Our whole permitting system. So if you try to remodel your kitchen, it takes forever. If you're a small business and you're trying to make tenant improvements, very, very difficult. And if you're trying to build housing, we have a housing affordability crisis.
Right.
And so I just decided to take on fixing our broken permitting system. So we passed a couple pieces of legislation that will go a long way in helping, and there's still much more to be done. But that will, if we fix permitting, then it'll help small businesses and it'll help our housing supply.
I see. So really quickly on the permitting, is it perhaps just the way that it's structured? It needs to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
first of all,
Yeah.
you need to know that if you have a certain kind of project, when are you going to get your permit?
Yeah.
And so this one piece of legislation establishes that 60, 100, and 120 days. Okay. And so now there's some certainty. And now your bank knows when you will be able to generate revenue if you're a small business and
Right.
you're getting, you're changing the inside of your business. So
Yeah.
that's very important. And the other one has to do with what triggers substantial alterations to, Anyway, it's kind of complex, but it will solve many problems at once. So that's the sort of thing I like. I like trying to figure out what is the problem and then how do we fix it? And then once we remove those barriers, then, things get better.
I think that comes from your educator and also small business entrepreneur background.
Well,
Yeah.
you can, and also
Yeah.
I found that previously council members sometimes took too much of an ideological perspective to policy, and you have to step back a little bit, look at what the problem is, talk to a lot of people to figure out what the solution is that will really help.
Thank you, Sarah. And then, you're running for a re-election here in this off year, but if you retain your seat, then would you say that permitting is still a huge priority for you? And what else would you say is on the docket in terms of your priorities going forward? Yeah.
I So yes, there's still problems to solve in permitting. I'm focusing also on ways to help more at the neighborhood level. So we have many little neighborhood chambers, neighborhood business improvement areas, and that's the lifeblood of our many of the festivals in neighborhoods. And I just want to figure out how I can better support those efforts on a neighborhood basis across the city, because that's what makes our city so livable and a vibrant place. And then I will say, the arts are very important to me.
Cool.
Yes. Well, I
Yeah.
established a Seattle Film Commission.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh.
I did. In my first year, I
Okay.
established a Seattle Film Commission because film is a big part of our city, and there's so much more the city can do to help the film industry and community, and also help attract large productions. And so I established a film commission, and their job is to tell us bureaucrats how we can make it easier to make film in Seattle. And
Nice.
and it's working because Paramount Pictures came in and was based in Seattle for about 6 months this year.
Oh, really?
And they produced a major film. I don't know what the title is,
Yeah. Okay.
but it'll be out in theaters at some
Oh,
point.
nice. I like Paramount because they own rights to Star Trek. So.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. You like Korean dramas?
Can I fake it? I'm sure.
Did you see Parasite?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Parasite.
I love that.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did great. Finally, Sarah, it's interesting that you bring up about recovery. I don't know if you know Bryce Owings. He's running for Linwood City Council
No,
in
I don't
Sandwich
know.
County, but he shared a story where he's a recovering. He's rehabilitated, but he was also. Hey, what's up, Bryce? If you're listening out there, he also shared that he was homeless for a while, and so now he's come out of that, and he's running for Linwood City Council. And so, maybe perhaps could you share a word of encouragement to maybe somebody who may be going through that right now, and you can crawl out of this. Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
will say that Bryce, is that his name?
Bryce or anybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bryce or anyone.
Yeah.
You can get through this and surround yourself with people who love you and know that you have something to offer. Going through this experience gives you something that you can share with other people and help them heal too.
Amazing. Thank you very much for your inspiring story. So finally, sir, do you have like a website you'd like to share or maybe some key endorsements? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I am endorsed by all but 2 of my colleagues on city council, so
Okay.
6 council members, Congressman Adam Smith, former governors Christine Gregoire and Gary Locke, also some of the building trade unions, and many, many, many community leaders of many sorts. Go to my website at saraforcitycouncil.com. That's SARAFOR citycouncil.com.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Sarah. Everyone, again, this is Sara Nelson. She's Seattle City Council president, and she's looking to retain her seat, position 9 on Seattle City Council. So, again, it is a citywide sort of vote. So, as we all know, the ballots have been mailed out.
Yes.
We're coming up upon a very important and critical time, November 4th. So, we just, again, encourage you to learn about your candidate. Just spend a little bit of time getting to know who they are and make informed decisions. So, Sarah, thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you.
And should we give a shout out to the Korean community?
Shout out. Oh, how do I say that again?
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you.